Hi, everybody. I'm Alice Shaw.
And I'm Lisa Z.
This is Behind the Surface, seeing beyond what your eyes see. We are recording this on May 31st, 2020. This is episode 4, season 2 of Minnesota Street Project's IGTV. Lisa?
So we were going to just have a discussion about personality and essence, but we decided today to do a clairvoyant reading on the energy of the current time right now, basically the day we launched into space and our cities burned. So we're going to see, for those of you who have not tuned in with us before, Alice and I are both psychics, and our main modality is clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. We get messages other ways, clairaudiently, and we feel things as well. We just want to let you know that it's not a linear read. We just get information, and a lot of it may not make sense to you now, but it may make sense later. It's never exactly in a complete line. So if you tune into the whole episode, it may make more sense towards the end. But at that, we are going to close our eyes and we are going to begin the reading. So just be patient with us for the next 30 seconds or so while we get into our space. Alice, let's pull in the energy of our current time, of the energy now in light of the recent events and what's going on in our country in particular, in the end of May 2020. So my immediate picture that I'm getting right now, and it's in complete alignment with what what the title of our show is that I'm seeing a picture of some kind of inner knowledge that a certain bodies of people have about the necessity of space exploration. And I see the symbolic flame of SpaceX going into orbit and leaving a trail of flames behind it. And this is symbolizing like a loss of hope and looking for another frontier. But the unfortunate thing about this is I see it's bringing the energy of our planet with them on this exploration. So what I'm seeing here is it's the picture I'm getting is like this distinct, it's just like an energetic line that's tapping into the frequency, the vibration of our planet as a whole. It's not even just the United States. Here we go. I always try to stay on my turf, but we're all one turf. And it's going with them in this shuttle and bounding into this new exploration. Alice, I open it while I explore this more.
All right, I'm seeing more stuff on the ground in the United States. I'm seeing, so last night there were protests and cities burned, and I'm seeing the people on the planet are in this country being more connected, are connected more than ever before, almost like roots of a tree or those huge fungus that grow under the ground and connect things. People are in more agreement now than in times before.
Alice, can I jump in? Because I'm seeing stuff just in the same like as you, except I'm seeing a symbol. It's all coming. The pictures are coming now. I'm seeing It's a symbolic picture of the street. And it's like, imagine a street that looks like it has an earthquake crack throughout it, going through it. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I see all the people in the street jumping into this, this hole, this ravine, and the earth is splitting, like like our country is splitting. But what I see is there's this crack in the road and there's this middle way. And I see people deciding to split, to jump in the middle, to go into this hole. And I thought at first, gosh, are people like, is this like people dying? Are people, what's going on? But what I see, it's like, there's like this neutral space in between this polarity that we have right now. And there's people jumping into it. Now, what this means, I don't know right now, because I don't want to go into my analytical mind, but this is the picture that's presenting. So the fact, Alice, that you saw the roots and I was seeing deep in the ground, there's some connection here. I'm open.
Coming on the back of that, I'm seeing what it is. It's that crack is normally a fearful place and people are afraid to go there, but they're not right now. They're not afraid to jump and see what happens. So usually people play things safe. People generally don't like change. They say that the thing we fear most in life is change. And right now there's so much unknown that people aren't afraid of it because they don't know anything that's going to happen coming next. And people have lost their jobs and their homes and they're already on the edge. If you have nothing to lose, you have nothing to lose.
Alice, I'm getting visceral reaction, super visceral reaction from the bottom of my feet to the top of my scalp because we're getting lots of matching pictures. What I'm seeing here too, I'm just going to pony up on what we're in the same place right now. It's exciting when we match up. Often I go more galactic and Alice stays earthbound, but I'm earthbound right now. Thanks, Alice, for matching. What I see is symbolic pictures, and it's really interesting. It's everyone, all color, shape, sizes, you name it, kind of coming out. And what I see is that there's this I see people's bodies in relation to their stress threshold. It's kind of they're like illustrative, and I see like an animation of like red going all the way to the tips of the crowns of people's heads, and there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go. I see everyone looking around. They're looking around, and it's everyone. So many different types, shapes, sizes of people, and they're like, "Fuck it, I'm jumping in here because I don't know what else to do." I'm having a super body level emotion to this right now, to the picture, and this is jumping into the unknown, into this whole, like, I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna die. That's the pictures I'm getting here. I'm gonna die anyway. We're gonna die anywhere. Everywhere we look, we're gonna die. So I'm gonna jump in here because you know what? This is safe. This feels safe, and it's because this is a ravine, like a crack in the road, a ravine. It's kind of like this feeling of being held, and you're being held by a like energy. So what I see is that as people come out of this house during this pandemic, and there's all this social chaos, there is nowhere else to go but to find a different direction. And how that direction is found, I don't know. I'm going to try to ask these questions because it's all in how we ask questions. But like if I start involuntary crying, it's not me. It's outside energies coming through because I feel it.
So when things like this occur, I have this tendency to look to see if it's a full moon because I have a cousin who's a firefighter in San Francisco. He worked most of his career in the Mission District, and he said they would brace themselves for the full moon. And I checked, and there wasn't a full moon this weekend, but there's a full moon on June 5th, and it's also a lunar eclipse. And I was reading a little bit about this, and it's a polarity moon, so that there's this polarity in the country. And there are the people who want things to stay the same and people who want things to change. And it's a 50-50 divide. It's not always like that because we become, we become used to things. And right now, there are more people who don't want things to stay the same than usual. So the pandemic created this polarity between the people who want things to get back to normal and the people who don't want things to get back to normal. And so all this is, it's coming to the surface. It's coming to the surface in politics. It's coming to the surface in our own psyches. Everyone's getting the chance to stay at home and really see what's important to them. And these issues that we might not have the chance to pay attention to because we're so busy, we're getting to finally put the attention on them.
So I just, when I'm still at the picture, the crack in the road in the ravine, because it evolved. Like I said, we turn the channel on pictures and look behind and behind to see where they take us. And sometimes they go in a dead end, and this one is not. And what I see here is, so the people who do end up in this ravine, which feels safe, are being guided out. And there's like, it's like a chain link of people. It's a chain link of people who have the tools and capacity to help guide people to find whatever it is they need to find to adjust to a new reality that is neither either end of the spectrum of what we've been experiencing up until now. And I see like there's like this symbolic picture of this giant field and people are going into it, and I don't know what they're doing, but I just see, and it's not like a football field, it's like nature, but it's like it has the feeling of like a football stadium, like big stadium lights in this nature area. And I don't know what that means, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of coming together, and it looks very peaceful, almost meditative, for lack of better words, better ways to describe this. I don't see like podiums there with megaphones. There's just like this light, a ton of light, and it's like people lying on blankets. It's something is in the works for healing is what it looks like, and for people to find a way. But I see that there's a groups of people coming in to usher, like people in the backgrounds of society who will come together to help people who don't know how to come out of this, to come out of this space that's been created for us in this time space reality we're in right now, because it's a unique one. I'm going to close that chapter down and look further at other energies around this. Alice, it's open.
I'm seeing things compressing and also breaking apart. And the compression is, it has to do with society, it has to do with economics. It's coming down, the top is coming down and the bottom is coming up. And all these things in politics that people kept saying were not possibilities are being shown as possibilities right now. As like being able to take care of the country, being able to take care of its people, or healthcare for all is not an impossibility, and now it might have to be implemented because of what's going on right now. So that's this compression. Then I see this. I'm getting a picture of a big ice drift that's floating, and it's starting to break apart. And the breaking apart is making it so that people are more even. So everyone gets on this little piece that is big enough for them, instead of some people having a big piece and a whole bunch of people on one tiny little piece. And that has to do with, it looks like it has to do with power, mostly power, and equality. And the people who have had more power before are going to have less. They're going to be in charge of themselves instead of other people. That's what I'm getting right now, Lisa.
Yeah, I was just trying to make sense of some of the pictures that I'm seeing, because right now I'm seeing like a political picture, and I'm looking at a teeter-totter. And there's representation from both parties at the top of the teeter-totter. And what I see is that they're both equal in terms of value systems right now. They're both playing the same game. This isn't one side or another. They're both playing the same game. And the things that are happening right now are based on how can we, I see like a herd of Republicans on one side of this teeter-totter and a herd of Republicans on the other side of this teeter-totter. And I'm getting, some figureheads at the top. No need to mention names. It doesn't even matter. But what I'm seeing is it's like a tit for tat thing based on current events that are happening and in the response. So how many people are we going to get off of their teeter-totter if we do X, Y, and Z? And they're playing this game, and it's all about politics. So if you think it's in your interest right now, the information I'm getting here right now is nothing on either side of the political spectrum is in your favor. And I'm seeing this. It's all this game just to try to get to power. So we're all pawns in this, and each party is making particular moves to shake the system in their favor. I mean, it's very, very, very clear picture for me, because I was wondering what the hell's going on here, because this looks like apocalyptic. And this game it's their own thing, and without concern for the people. Even they're actors on both sides. They're actors and players in this game. And what I'm also seeing here is that there's other things going on behind the surface, and there's something that is connected with what's going on in our space exploration. I'm not getting enough information on it, but there's, again, I'm always getting these in these readings when it comes to big readings about our country, our planet, these dark entities. And we're definitely at a point where the vibration of the planet needs to rise. We need a tipping point to happen. And it looks like to me, and I want to voice this because based on the earlier pictures I saw, there is hopeful pictures. There is hopeful pictures. And it only takes a slight increment of people to raise their vibratory level to shift the grid. And that changes the way that we react and how things happen. Because if the vibration goes higher, the lower vibrational entities, which is both political parties, they can't exist with a vibratory level that's higher, with decision making that's higher than that. New things will be created. It's very simple in the pictures. And it is hopeful for me when I do look at this. And this compression chamber that we've been put in is here put in here for a reason, because people have to feel like they're going to combust, and they are literally combusting. It's not funny.
So I keep getting two words, respect and love. And I think that they're very closely related. So what I'm seeing is in this time when people are isolated, they are really looking at the inside things that create happiness. They're not looking at the things on the outside, the clothes and the car and the house and the job and those things that give us a certain amount of status or don't know what the right word is, just
Outside value.
outside value. Um, and so in that space, respect and love are stronger, and they're bubbling up, and it's not just for themselves, it's for other people. And that's partly where this kind of web that I'm seeing, like these roots that connect all the people, are. It's almost like um, all religions, when it comes down to it, their essence is this certain beautiful value, and people are getting in touch with that. And it's not one religion, it's not one thing, it's they're connecting to that. And if we can stay in that, we can make change. If we return to where we were, we're just going to start falling backwards again. And so it's those people that Lisa keeps seeing falling into this ravine that are the ones who aren't afraid. They're the ones that don't want things to stay the same. They're the ones that are like, okay, I don't have to drive a BMW. I can drive some other car that doesn't make me look a certain way, doesn't give me clout or something. I can give up these things that I thought were important to my value, and join other people who are doing that same thing.
So I'm somewhere else right now, and I'm looking at this. A lot of this energy is not, it's a little bit of precognition, so I don't want to frighten people. It's a future probability, but what I'm seeing, I saw a lot of things many years ago about this time period, and leading up to here and beyond. And what I'm seeing here is, I was like, what's going on? I'm in the suburbs. There's not, like, suburbs is where the school shootings happen. But what I'm seeing here is, like, I'm seeing roadblocks, and I'm seeing a symbolic picture of a man in his driveway, and I see a little girl coming into his daughter getting into the back seat of the car, and all of a sudden, like, troops come in and put a barrier on the street, and I see his arm rushing in. I have goosebumps, but right now, and I see him ushering his daughter into the car. And this is in, like, your idyllic setting and, suburban America, where really not a lot goes on, but actually, to be honest with you, really a lot does go on there, just in different degrees. But what this is showing me is that there's more to come. There's more pressure cookers, because what we're seeing a lot is more in the inner cities. And what I'm seeing here is that the suburbs are not exempt. Like, there's more pressure cookers, because the direct effect is really, the impact is on the cities. And yes, usually, the densely populated cities morph out and make change, but it looks like in these suburban places, there's something that's brewing energetically, that's going to cause distress. And I see the fear and anguish in this father's face. Like, how could this be? Kind of the feelings that we've been having here, like globally. How can this be? Here we're sheltered in our house. Like, how could this be? Here we are, and people are, we're still having these issues with race in 2020. Well, this is now the cherry's been popped. Like, here we go. Suburban, idyllic America is going to feel some intensity, is what I see. And prior to this, when I had done earlier readings, I saw that it's like our globe was going to go through micro wars. I hadn't seen people in social isolation. I saw mothers educating their children. I saw light at the end of all of this, but it was from that period of time. It was like 6-7 years out so that would be like now 4 to 5 years out. And there's these the bunch of energies of creations of what would be perceived as traumatic events that make people change, and it's a creation of our own to evolve. But most importantly, what I see in this picture is that the suburbs are not exempt. Like, my own inclination right now is to flee the city and live a quieter life. But it looks like it will follow. So there's no running from it. it's an acceptance level of this, and a change needs to occur from within. A change. Everyone's going to find a way to change based on all of the current events we're all experiencing. And this is what I see. And until people change, these events are going to keep occurring on every level to affect every human. And I know that sounds grim. I'm sorry to have to report some of these things, but I do see light, and I do see people coming together, and it's coming together in a different way. Alice, I'm open.
So when I was looking at the moon and the polarity moon, they were saying that it was going to have this ripple effect for 6 months. And then there are a series of lunar eclipses that are going to last until December 2021. So we're not done yet. Also, somebody recently told me that the 1918 influenza pandemic came back 6 times. So we're in this for a little while. The healing can happen for the pandemic and this coronavirus if our country heals. It has to heal first. And there's a lot of healing to happen.
On the brighter side of things, I just looked at a picture, and I saw the art on the street. I was getting pictures of art on the street. I'm like, why are you showing me art on the street? Like, what does this have to do? What's going on here? And I thought that would give me some information, and it has. The art on the street that is, it's not social justice oriented, which is interesting. I was looking at like what's going on, and it was like very inspiring and uplifting art. It looks like there's a movement to bring about change through art communication within street art. And I'm seeing like hope is being painted on the streets, like a movement of hope. So it's interesting. Artists move and shape the world. And I'm really happy to see what this is looking like on my screen. It looks like everyone is going to have their role in this next evolution of where we're going. But I do see hope strewn throughout this. And there's patience as well. Mm-hmm. It's not immediate. I just want to, it's just patience. At every incremental change, there's just an ownership of it is what I see. And everyone has a part in it. Alice, do you have anything else?
Well, looking at your art picture, we're put on this planet to create, and we're not put on this planet to work. We're put on this planet to create, and you can create through your work. But a lot of people are going to be looking at self-expression in a different way. That's all I'm getting, Lisa.
Yeah, no, my screen went blank as well. We only get what is provided for. We ask to get the information that we need to provide to the community we're providing it to, and I got the shutdown as well. I'm going to open up my eyes now. You too, Alice? Mm-hmm. So before we end, I want to read something that I really love. It's by Joy Harjo. Once I traveled far above the earth. The beloved planet we call home was covered with an elastic web of light. I watched in awe as it shimmered, stretched, dimmed, and shined. Shaped by the collective effort of all life within it. Dissidence attracted more dissidence. Harmony attracted harmony. I saw revolutions, droughts, famines, and the birth of new nations. The most humble kindness made the brightest light. Nothing was wasted. Be well, everyone.
Hi, everybody. Thanks.
Bye.